Suicide Squad kills the Justice League is totally a cool concept, but as nerds and lovers of comic books, it is way more fun to wonder how the Justice League would do against the best the Avengers have to offer. And first up is my own personal pick, but it's Moon Knight. Now before you get all up in arms, yes, I know Moon Knight is primarily a street level hero, which is not commonly the kind of hero that can defeat a premier superhero team, but you know who else is a street level hero? Batman. And we all know what Batman can do. And he doesn't even have a super powerful ancient Egyptian god on his side. My reason for thinking that Moon Knight can take on the Justice League comes from Avengers Volume 8, issue 33 to 37 in 2020, otherwise known as the Age of Khonshu. Not only does Moon Knight defeat a number of Avengers, he even steals their powers. It turns out that both Moon Knight and Khonshu have been receiving visions of the Earth under attack from Mephisto and the forces of his dimension. So, in an effort to stop him, Moon Knight defeats and steals the powers from Iron Fist, Ghost Rider, the Sorcerer Supreme, Starbrand, Black Panther, and Thor, who he beats up using his own hammer and crushing him between multiple different moons. And then he wipes out Mephisto and even gains the powers of the Phoenix Force, which he then uses to defeat Khonshu himself, who was amped up by the powers of those whose Moon Knight just stole. So yes, I think he could probably take on the Justice League given the right circumstance. Now next up, whether you love or hate Carol Danvers, there is no denying that this energy-wielding superhero is an absolute powerhouse. Carol was the head of security at NASA when she was accidentally subjected to the Psyche Magnetron machine, which imprinted her with energy from the superhero Mar-Vel's Kree negabands, which gave her superhuman strength that allowed her to support the weight of a dead celestial, super stamina that lets her exert herself for over 24 hours before even getting tired, superhuman durability to withstand planet-destroying explosions, superhuman agility and reflexes that are next to instant, a regenerative healing factor that exceeds Wolverine's and can be extended to others, self-propelled flight at 3 times the speed of sound even in the vacuum of space, and flash precognition that allows her to randomly subconsciously anticipate the moves of her opponents. But all of this is somewhat secondary to what is arguably her main power, the ability to control, absorb, and manipulate energy of a whole bunch of different kinds, which extends to let her project her spirit, manipulate molecules, transmute matter, create energy constructs, and even boost up her already OP abilities. There's literally no denying that Carol Danvers' Captain Marvel is straight up broken. Now next up is a curious pick, and it's Sersi. Sersi is a member of the Eternals, an evolutionary offshoot of humanity gifted with amazing powers and abilities to look after the human race throughout the ages, which makes them similar but also just a smidgen bit different and more powerful than the Eternals movie counterparts. Either way, as an Eternal, Sersi's body is augmented by cosmic energy and she has total mental control over her entire molecular structure, which allows her and other Eternals to be immortal, indestructible, and invulnerable to pretty much anything which isn't stronger than the cosmic energy that augmented them. Sersi has enough strength to bench 20 tons, but thanks to her telekinesis, she can augment that to lift around 25 tons. Her telekinesis also allows Sersi to fly at around 760 miles per hour. She can project cosmic energy and heat, light, or concussive blasts. She has telepathy that allows her to hypnotize weak-minded fools. She can teleport, but she kinda hates it, and she is even able to project images from her mind, which is such a cool idea for an ability. Those are all the powers that we don't see in the Eternals movie, because arguably the ability that she has the most talent in is her matter transmutation ability, which allows Sersi to transmute nearly any item or being into almost whatever she wishes. Among the Eternals, she has the highest ranking of power with this ability. It allows her to self-heal any injuries she does actually sustain, which aren't many, and I have no doubts that she could probably transmute things into kryptonite, which would absolutely help against the Justice League's heaviest hitter. Next up on our list is Thor, Odin's son. The Asgardian god of thunder is one of the most powerful heroes on the Avengers roster. Whenever anyone talks about Avengers level threats, one of the key things that they talk about is whether Thor or the Hulk can just handle the situation alone. Being the son of Odin the Allfather and Gaia an Elder God, or maybe his mom is the Phoenix Force, it's kinda gone back and forth, Thor has all the incredible powers of the Asgardians, but boosted up to a whole nother level thanks to his mother, whoever she is. As the god of strength as well as thunder, he's one of the strongest Marvel characters, being able to either defeat or stalemate astronomically strong beings like the Midgard Serpent, the Hulk, the Silver Surfer, Gladiator, and Hercules. His stamina lets him basically fight forever, and he's next to completely invulnerable, not to mention his weather and energy manipulation and the use of his hammer. Even when he isn't in possession of his hammer though, and is just Thor, Odin's son, he is still a force to be reckoned with, and especially recently, he keeps getting more and more boosts to his power, like when he was Rune King Thor, or now that he's the All-Father of Asgard in his father's place, which gives him the Thor Force, and he's gone even beyond that when he became the Herald of Galactus. Dr. Stephen Strange. His magical feats are almost unmatched by any other. He is among the most adept magic user in the Marvel multiverse and has shown it way too many times. When he first came on the scene, and for a long while, he was so insanely powerful that he was capable of doing pretty much anything he wanted using magic. It got to the point that Marvel even decided to nerf him back down. He has passed a test in which he accepted death that meant that he now no longer ages and can only be taken out by external means, meaning he's pretty much immortal. His energy blasts are capable of destroying moons and planets. He's mastered the words of the Black Priest, which allows him to distort reality, or used to allow him to distort reality. He frequently calls on the divine empowerment and extra-dimensional energy of mystical and non-mystical beings in multiple dimensions to power his spells. He's the defender of reality, and he only really even shows up when there is a threat to the entirety of existence, battling against gods, cosmic entities, and the most powerful demons in existence. Magic users already have a better chance against the Justice League than most in the DC universe, but Doctor Strange is already a cut above most of the magic users DC even has. Next up is a former Marine and scientist turned superhero by the name of Adam Brashear. And he is not only one of the strongest heavy hitters in Marvel Comics, but he is also one of the smartest characters and one of the absolute most underutilized favorites. Blue Marvel's origins take place in the 1960s during a project to use antimatter as an energy source. Adam and his best friend Connor were caught up in an explosion that turned Adam into a living, stable antimatter reactor, which should, in theory, actually be pretty much impossible. Now this power is insane. To put it into perspective, 1 gram of antimatter contains the same energy as the device dropped that ended World War II for the Americans. 1 droplet could power the entirety of New York City for a full day. Using this power, he was able to lift an American warship which weighs over 93,000 tons, and then he flew it all the way back to America. He effortlessly moved a meteor the size of Arkansas to save the world, and the Watcher said that Adam is capable of splitting the moon in 2 with a single blow. He was able to directly engage Iron Man, Ares, Wonder Man, and Miss Marvel in combat at the same time, and he casually overpowered them and then turned around and pushed the Sentry to his limits and knocked him into Earth's orbit with a single punch. He may be seemingly relegated to the background of Marvel Comics, but Blue Marvel is practically unstoppable, and he's slowly making more and more appearances as Marvel finally embraces how awesome his character actually is. Now, upon first appearing in the Marvel Universe, Red Hulk laid waste to several of Marvel's strongest heroes. He defeated both Thor and the Hulk, and even bested the Invisible Woman, Thundra, Storm, Black Widow, Hellcat, Tigra, and Spider-Woman all at once, quickly establishing himself as one of the strongest Marvel characters in existence. Now, to his credit, he later took a more heroic turn, joining the Avengers. With almost all the same powers of the Hulk, plus some that are unique to him, Ross is an incredibly powerful character. He has easily taken out the Abomination, punched the Watcher unconscious, and taken out an Elder of the Universe. He can control his transformation to Red Hulk, and while his strength is greater than that of the base Hulk, he doesn't increase in strength as he gets angrier. Instead, he emits gamma radiation as heat that gets hotter and hotter and hotter as he gets angrier and angrier and angrier, even becoming an explosion if angry enough. He is also able to absorb energy, usually gamma, but has absorbed and stolen the Silver Surfer's power cosmic, riding off into the distance on his Silver Surfboard. With the power of a million exploding suns, Robert Reynolds the Sentry is not just another Marvel version of Superman. In my opinion, he's even cooler. The Golden 7 Century Serum gave Robert Reynolds more than just the highest level of strength in the universe, the ability to move and fly faster than the speed of light or just straight up teleport and near invulnerability. The Sentry also has molecular manipulation abilities that have allowed him to defeat the Molecule Man, photokinesis, which allows him to shine brighter than the sun, which could probably be used by Superman. He can turn completely invisible and produce blasts of light from his hands and eyes that could burn the Hulk's skin and level entire city blocks. He's got psionic abilities that he uses to hold himself together, implant his memories in others, erase minds, and stop the hammer of Thor. He has biokinesis abilities that have let him heal others, resurrect himself, reconstitute his molecules, and as the Void, he gives others cancer. Now, speaking of the Void, that is a whole other dark side to this hero that is intrinsically tied to his existence, which is not only incredibly powerful in its own right and makes the hero 10 times more interesting, but when Sentry combined with the Void, this godlike being basically got a power boost and became even more of a god. As a natural conduit of one of the most powerful forms of dark magic, chaos magic, which may or may not be an actual thing according to Doctor Strange, the Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff, is one of the most terrifyingly powerful beings in Marvel Comics. Using her chaos magic, Wanda has the very powerful ability to alter reality, which she has used to create her own children, bring the Avengers to their knees, and even rewrite all of reality to make mutants the dominant species for a while before she just straight up removed half of their powers. When she was born, Wanda had a natural affinity for magic. This was boosted up by the gift or curse of chaos magic given to her by Chthon, the old god of chaos, which was then boosted up again by the experiments of the High Evolutionary at Wundagore Mountain, which gave her an even deeper connection to magic. She can channel energy from other dimensions and from entities like Chthon, Sidorak, and Morrigan, and is considered to be the nexus being of the universe. If DC's Enchantress could take on the League, Scarlet Witch definitely can. And last up for today, it's the Gamma-powered Green Goliath, and he has been around for a long time. Since he showed up, there are only a small handful of people who have ever been able to stop him without using some kind of magic or reality warping. The Hulk's infinite strength has a lot to do with that. A strength that grows based on his anger and has never actually ever reached a cap, allowing him to destroy entire planets, be a threat to entire galaxies, and he's been able to shake the entire multiverse with his punches. It also has a lot to do with his basically limitless dynamic durability, which has allowed him to survive attacks from enchanted weapons, powerful blasts of energy, stronger than Ground Zero nuclear explosions, the Human Torch's Nova Blast, and he could stand up to the forces that could crush adamantium and destroy entire planets. But now, thanks to Immortal Hulk, we know that the Hulk is actually literally immortal. He just comes back from the below place anytime he actually passes away. Actually, in that story, we even get to see an alternate future where the One Below All uses the Hulk to destroy literally everything in existence. And the Hulk is still showing more and more of his potential with the reveal of the Titan Hulk persona that was able to fire energy blasts and is utter nightmare fuel. There have been crossovers where we've seen the Hulk fight Superman and Batman separately, but I'm gonna be honest, I really don't think those stories did the Hulk justice at all. But that's all I've got. Thank you guys so much for watching here on Top 10 Nerd. I'll catch you on the flippy flop, and if I don't, stay safe and peace out, you nerds.